right to work in the UK. I found my first job on LinkedIn. It's not easy and failed them all. Really tedious. Hi everyone, I'm Melanie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I share my journey of studying and working in London, and of course I do vlogs for my life as well. In this video, I want to share with you how I landed on my first full-time marketing role in the UK. Just to give a quick background intro of me, I graduated from King's College London with a master's degree in digital marketing. I have a series of videos talking about King's and my course, so definitely go check it out. My first corporate role was in a cybersecurity company, and I worked as a marketing operations analyst there. Now, first thing, finding a job in the UK is not easy. It's not easy for British students, and it's certainly not easy for international students / job seekers. I feel you, 100%. If you are an international trying to find a job in the UK, the most important thing is you need a visa sponsorship. You need to have the right to work in the UK. There are a few visa options in the UK, which I'm just gonna mention the ones I find it more relevant in this video. First is the skilled worker visa. The most typical way will be going through the graduate scheme. So this is the visa route that you apply for big names companies, and they already have visa sponsorship for their roles and will smoothly transit your student visa to the skilled worker visa. Other entry-level jobs might be more difficult to offer you a skilled worker visa because bear in mind, skilled worker visa is quite complicated and costly. The company needs to have a valid license and then apply a cost for you and then do the actual application for you and also do the renewal depending on how many years you both agree for the visa. Remember that if you're under this visa, your company's assets and you can't leave unless you found next employers willing to sponsor you. There are also salary and skill thresholds. For example, the employer needs to prove that you are more qualified than the local, and that goes to why they will offer you a certain amount of salary. You can find the eligible job codes and all the requirements on Gov.uk. Usually, if you want to get into grad scheme, you have to apply on first term or like 1 year before you graduate or when you want to start. That's because basically UK's hiring season is around like spring and autumn. So for example, you start your master's degree in 2022 and you want to like live and work in the UK, that means you need to start working in autumn 2023. Otherwise, your student visa might expire in winter. That means you need to apply in autumn 2022 or the latest spring 2023. That would be your last shot, I believe. So I hope this makes sense that you, for a grad scheme, you basically need like to apply 1 year beforehand. So grad scheme recruitment process can be really tedious. The usual process is you fill out online application with your CV, your cover letter, and then maybe you'll be invited to do some online assessments such as situational questions, technical questions, behavioral questions, case study, etc. Some company even likes to do gamification, so you can be like break through each stage, testing your English, math, or logic skills. Some companies will even ask you to do like online interviews with computers, which I find it really shit. They won't even bother to have a real person to talk to you. Personally, I think that's just not worth it. If you get into the real human interview process, the typical round would be HR will do a screening call with you, and then you'll be invited to have an interview with the hiring manager, and then more rounds of interviews with team members or anyone who can have a say with your headcount. In the later stage, there will be a group interview called AC. If you pass around, that could be a final interview with the VP or somebody else. And then finally, you will receive a call from the HR to congratulate you, you got the role. So that's basically the process for grad scheme recruitment process. It's a very long and time-consuming process, and to be honest with you, I applied so many grad scheme roles and failed them all. If you really choose this path, you probably have to give up social life because term 1 and term 2 would be your most crucial and stressful time because you need to spend that time to do all the application and rounds of interviews, and you just have to pay 100% of attention and efforts into preparing them. The grad scheme is really difficult to get in, but the pros is that these big companies, they have the whole process of dealing the visa application for you, and usually you don't have to pay for anything and it's all sorted out for you. And then after you graduate, you'll be like smoothly transit into your new visa and then start your role. The second visa option is PSW, which is exactly what it says on the tin. You can apply for PSW for an extended 2 years to live and work in the UK after you graduate. Sounds pretty good, right? But side notes for people who want to settle in the UK, so you can hold 5 years of skilled worker visa and then apply for settlement in the UK, but this PSW visa doesn't count in the 5 years. PSW is very similar, almost identical to the third option. That is my current visa, Youth Mobility Visa. This visa route is specifically for people from these countries during their 18 to 30 years old. People from Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, and Hong Kong needs to apply for a ballot to be selected, and then you can apply for YMS. So it's basically like a lottery. And by the way, it doesn't count into 5-year settlement as well. There are also other visa options such as Global Talent Visa, High Potential Individual Visa, different options, so definitely go check it out for yourself. I'm currently holding YMS visa, which basically allowed me to work anywhere I want with few restrictions, I think. I still recommend to check the UK visa license list, which you can find on UK Gov website as well. My first company has the visa sponsorship license, so it was a strategy for me to invest my time there because they are able to sponsor me once my 2 years are done. But they didn't, but that's another story. But always be prepared, right? Moving on, what job hunting websites to look for? In my experience, I use so many job posting websites, but I'm here to tell you what websites I would really recommend. First is LinkedIn. It's the largest online networking, recruiting, job hunting / showing off job updates social media platform. Having a dashing LinkedIn profile is so important. You can put your profile picture as open to work, both public or open to recruiters only. I found my first job on LinkedIn, so it's my personal favorite. You can connect with people working in your targeted companies. You can stalk on their profile to see their career progression if that's similar to what you envision for your career. And you can message them. I had messaged someone who is a King's alumnus working in the company I was having an interview with to get some tips and advice. So never afraid to reach out. You can set up job alerts using some keywords. For me, back in the time, it was marketing assistant, marketing executive, etc. And now would be more like marketing manager, marketing specialist, something like that. You get the idea. You can go broad or narrow down your search. LinkedIn has so many filters to apply. You can select industry, skill level, job titles, many different options for you to select. You can also do LinkedIn Learning or to get certified. If your certificates are matched with the skills some companies ask for, LinkedIn will notify you that those jobs are matching with your skill badges. So you have higher chance to get noticed in your application. The second website I would recommend is Indeed. I really like their user interface. It's white, it's clean, and it's very user-friendly as well. The job opportunities are massive there, and you could set job alerts. Recruiters will often in-message you on the platform, but you will also get email notifications. All the other websites I use are mostly duplicates from what I've already found on LinkedIn or Indeed. I think it's because they're so big, they have so many users, so recruiters tend to use their hiring ads budgets on those platforms. Just a reminder, Glassdoor is quite good too, but I mainly use it for checking companies' rating, review, and employees share interview feedback. Next, I want to talk about resources. Take King's as example, we have loads of different resources. I did CV check and I did one-to-one mock interview practice. There are so many career fairs coming to King's because companies want to recruit talent in uni. I went to KPMG workshop where they shared the leadership principles that you can use in interview. I did mock phone interview with Nestle and the recruiter gave me loads of valuable feedback. I also visited Amazon London office and had a chance to network with their employees. King's also has its job posting websites and internships opportunities collaborated with companies. What I'm trying to say is you can get so much out of uni, so make sure you use the resources. I highly recommend you to attend job fairs, to connect with recruiters or managers, because when it comes to internal referral, your life will be so much easier. And I think it's just gonna maximize your chance out there. So my personal story was I was trying to find a visa sponsor role in the whole time, and I was offered an opportunity in the end, but it wasn't marketing related, so it wasn't really what I want. So after considerations, I turned down the offer. So I went back to Taiwan and got an offer to work in L'Oreal in Taiwan. But almost at the same time, I got YMS. So I turned down the job offer in Taiwan and determined to find a job in London, because now I don't have the visa restriction, so there's no excuse for me at all. It took me around 3 months to get an offer. My strategy was I put the filters I want: job titles, job level, industry, preferences, and then basically apply all I can. Looking back, I'm not really sure that's the best thing to do, so I wouldn't really recommend you to do that. Maybe you can pick some like 15 to 20 companies you really want to join and then start from there. But what I did was I just tried to maximize my chance to get an interview and then proceed from there. I had paid for CV editing service, which is worth it in my opinion. I have paid for interview practice service as well, which I think is really helpful to have someone professional going through behavioral and technical questions. I had applied 301 roles in total, but to be more specific, I applied around 100 companies during my intensive job searching period. I got into 10 companies interview process. 3 I was in the final round. 1 rejected me, 1 I turned it down, and the last one I accepted the offer. I noticed that the usual turnaround is around like 1 month. So in my role, I had the first HR call and then followed by 3 rounds of interviews with my manager and then 2 regional marketing managers and then VP. Finally, HR called me to confirm I got the offer. And that's the time to discuss about compensation and benefits, those details, which I didn't really negotiate, but I learned a lot from that. I remember that day to finally got a job after all this time. It was a good day. I will share with you my advice now. First is to have internships or related part-time jobs. Work experience is super important, even if you're a freshman out of uni. Your peers, which is your competitors, who have work experience or internship experience will be way more appealing to hiring manager. I had worked as King's ambassador as my part-time job for 1 year, and I had been constantly working in internships and short-term jobs. Those experiences gave me so much stories to tell and so much example to demonstrate my working skills and soft skills. I used Workfinder to find most of my short-term jobs. And just remember that they have paid and unpaid projects. Definitely pick the paid one. The unpaid job, I think, is disgraceful. Free labor, come on. Second, make sure you are comfortable talking about every point on your CV. And ideally have like 1 to 2 minutes story to tell on each bullet point. I also watch loads of interview practice videos. One I highly recommend is CareerBeats. In the end, I have all the answer in my head and I don't need to worry about what to say in an interview. But make sure you not just like memorize it, you need to like internalize the answer into your head and be like, whatever the interviewer asks you some question, you don't stick to like the same answer, you need to improvise as well. My third advice is to create a clean spreadsheet or Notion or whatever you want to use, so you can have an overview and won't get lost track of all your application. What I did was an Excel spreadsheet, and I had the name of the role, the company, job description details, whether I apply, what resource I found the role, and some notes and the results. And I have like an extra field to remind myself always send out the thank you note after an interview. So definitely make sure to do that as well. It's really gonna make you stand out from the others who don't send thank you notes. Having an Excel is just so much easier to track everything. And even one time I got a call from the HR randomly, and I was just like immediately search my laptop to find what was the role I applied. Now that's all for this video. Now I really want to shout out to all the job seekers out there. You're doing great. Trust the process, really. I know it's hard, it's disappointing, it's frustrating, it's loads of pressure. Sometimes you even doubt yourself, but remember you should go into an interview and thinking and knowing that you are the best candidate. I hope you all can get to where you want to be. Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you want to know more, please comment down below or follow my Instagram, and you're welcome to DM me there. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!